Well, the music industry has nothing on our next guest.
Nothing.
Nothing on you. No. He exploded onto the scene with hits like Nothing on You and Airplanes.
And now he's about to heat up the airwaves again with his third album, Underground Luxury. Performing artist B.o.B, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
How you
welcome.
doing?
Underground Luxury, I like
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
The most luxurious of the underground.
All
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to the album, you got to tell us about your name, B.o.B, because it's really Bobby Ray Simmons Jr.
Oh, yeah.
So when and why did you decide to change it?
Man, when I grew up, man, I had one of them country names. That's
Bobby Ray.
unnicknamed. Well, all the girls be like, Bobby Ray Simmons Jr. So, you know, I tried to, man, but I could never find a nickname. And one day I was outside of a club, and my partner, Willie Joe, was like, yo, B.o.B. And I was like, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
But
like a light bulb.
Big B, little O, Big B.
Yes.
It's got to be B.o.B.
Belargo punto o punto belargo.
Oh, what was that?
Okay.
In Espanol.
Oh,
Fancy.
Okay.
Learn something new every day.
There's no period at the end.
None at the end.
Like you said,
Got it.
O small. Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Very
you speak
specific.
Spanish?
Me? No, my dad does fluently.
Okay.
Him and my mom speak fluent Spanish.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Oh, I love it.
When we was kids, every time we go to a drive-thru and there'd be someone who spoke Spanish working, they had order in Spanish.
Get excited. Like, oh,
Me and my sister be like, oh,
so embarrassing.
Let's talk about your new album. It drops on December 17th.
Yes.
What can listeners expect?
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas. Good stocking
You know,
stuffer.
this album for me is a pivotal album because I feel like everybody has always known my music and you know, the more easier digestible side of me. But now this is really pulling people into my world more and letting people know, you know, just my unedited, unfiltered thoughts and you know, the light side and the dark side of it, the highs and the lows, the good and the bad and the ugly. And this album is just, I never on the album really opened up about my childhood and my past as much as I have now and more deliberately as I have on this album. So this is an important album for me.
Well, why did you feel it was so important to delve more into your personal background?
I didn't feel like people knew who I was, you know? I feel like people got introduced to, you know, the Nothing on You B.o.B. with the cardigan, but they didn't see the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see all the, you know, the underground mixtape days. So, you know, it was just I looked at this as an opportunity, and because I executive produced this album, you know, it just allowed me to have my own type of platform for my own sound and what I wanted to say.
But you're also very transparent. Were you trying to give another message, an overall message?
Well, you know, just being 24, man, like, you know, getting older and, you know, being into 24-year-old type of things.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's talk about those things.
Yeah.
Apparently you did a lot of research in the clubs for this new album.
yeah, I did lots of extensive club research.
club research.
Yes.
What type of clubs did you frequent for this album?
man,
for research, of course.
The type of clubs where there are, I like to call them professional nudists. I like to say.
Oh, okay. Professional nudist.
Professional nudists.
Professional
Like, that's a
nudist.
classier way to say it.
Yes. And, you know,
AKA strippers. You were in the strip club, B.o.B.
yeah, I had fun, man. You know, I never really got a chance to experience that. I got signed straight out of high school when I was 17, and I was straight into the industry. It's so crazy because I thought I was gonna bypass, you know, the corporate world by becoming an artist or a rapper, but I dove straight into it. And, you know, I didn't go to college and I didn't get to experience those things. So for me, this was like, you know, just living life and enjoying. Yeah.
You didn't overindulge, though.
I didn't in moderation.
In moderation.
Yeah.
Well, you're here, so we know you didn't overindulge too much.
Just enough to get your research done.
Yeah, just all right, guys.
See?
Commence study.
Well, you also have some impressive collaborations on this new album. Everyone from 2 Chainz to T.I. to Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Who else can we expect? And who did you enjoy working with most?
2 Chainz.
Man, actually worked with.
I love saying that. Sorry.
You sound good. You got a good rap voice.
Well, thank you, B.o.B.
You got a new career.
All right. Should I spit a verse or two?
No, it's okay.
Now, you know what? I really like working with Pharrell on this project. Even though what we didn't make the album, the conversation we had was just, I mean, I needed to hear that, you know, and, you know, he just told me a lot of things I needed to hear, and it ended with, Bob, all you gotta do is just continue to make undeniable music.
Yeah.
And that's all you gotta do. And
What's
rest
the
will take care of
process
itself.
like when you're in the studio, when you're collaborating with people, or do you write on a yellow pad? Do you just flow? Like, what's your process?
My goal is to start something as soon as possible, like as quick as we can, you know, get an idea flowing. Everybody's different, everybody works differently, so, you know, you have to kind of know you know, the more you work with someone, the better you get at working with them. And, you know, artists like Tip, you know, we worked a lot in the studio, and it's always a good competitive energy, and not even just, you know, like we competing against each other. It's just like the competitive energy is there. It's like I need to outdo myself, you know.
Well, you really came on and hit the charts and burned up the charts with the song you did with Bruno Mars. I mean, you won, you had nominated for Grammys, won a Soul Train Award. What was it like working with him, and how did that one song change your career?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because I remember working in LA with Bruno on numerous occasions, and one day in particular, I found out that he played the guitar. We were outside taking a break, and he was playing the guitar, and I was like, yo, he was like, yo, Bob, this is a song I wrote for somebody, and he started playing it, and I was like, yo, this should be your song, like, why aren't you an artist? And so next thing you know, man, Nothing on You came about, and the rest was history.
Wow.
My goodness.
Crazy.
So you put Bruno Mars on, in a way.
Yeah, in a way.
In a way. Okay. Let's talk about your new song, Wide Open.
Wide Open. Have you heard Wide Open?
I have.
Well, I've heard that you said it was a love song, but it seemed a little bit deeper than that.
It's
like a lustful song.
It's love. It's a love song. You gotta feel the love.
Feel the love.
Baby making music at its finest.
That was one of your research songs, I'm sure, right?
Yes, it was.
Exactly.
And the research came back well. Research well.
Terrible. On a more serious note, let's talk about John Doe, because that's about battling addiction. Is that something that you've dealt with personally or in your life?
You know, this song was the most difficult song to write on this album because I personally haven't battled addiction, but I do know people who battle with it, and so for me to speak on that subject, I had to, in the second verse of the song, be vulnerable myself. You know what I mean? And I think John Doe, it's not just specifically about drugs, but I think John Doe is anybody who's lost control over themselves and who can't admit it. And I think that's the theme that I really had to tap into to complete the song. Yeah.
Well, you talked about, you know, delving back into your personal history with this new album. Tell us a little bit more about your childhood and what it was like growing up. I heard you were too embarrassed to bring friends to the house.
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, as a kid, I was like, so Dad, is the house gonna be done this year? Because I want to have a birthday party at the crib.
When you say done, you guys were in a lifelong renovation project?
Yo, that's the best description I've ever heard.
I got you.
Yo.
I have family like that. I understand you.
And I was like, no, I can't do it this year. We're renovating. We got some big things coming. But you know, it was, man. And you know, when we first moved in, it was the bare necessities. Like it was just the wood frame of the house. There were no outside walls. Wow. So like, if you just so happened to sleep by the edge of the house, you could have like rolled out the house.
Whoa.
For real.
Wow.
So you know, there was no door. We had to nail a board to where the door was supposed to go, and there were no staircases. It was like a big gaping hole.
My goodness.
Okay, so in this case, you have to clarify something. Did you not have heat and electricity at one point because you didn't have the money, or because the house just wasn't done?
It wasn't done.
Okay.
And we didn't have the money, which is why we got evicted.
Twofold. Okay, got it. How do you get evicted from a house that's not even done? That's like getting evicted from a house without...
we were in an apartment.
Okay.
And my dad's a carpenter. So we were in an apartment, you know, over in the east side, and we got evicted. So he was working on building us a house, so we had to, you know, kind of, you know, do what it did. So, you know, and when the sun went down, we had to go to sleep because there's no lights. Yeah. We had to put food in the cooler because there's no refrigerator. We had to heat up the water, carry it upstairs on the ladder.
My goodness. So you learned how to improvise at an early age.
Man, look, and you know what's so crazy? The ironic thing is, whenever I want to like get away and relax my mind, I go camping, and it's like the same thing.
Right. I feel you. It's a great adventure.
Got to chop wood.
Okay, we have to go almost to break. We have one more question for you. You got to tell us about your upcoming tour.
Yes, I'm going on tour after I put this album out. You know, let people live with it, let it soak in. I'm gonna do an underground luxury tour. I'm going around the world. I'm going to Australia. I'm going to Amsterdam.
Wow.
I'm going to Tokyo. I'm going to Paris.
Wow.
You gonna come and spit a verse?
I will.
She is ready. We will come definitely on tour with you.
Sisters in Paris.
We'll let y'all wrap us out of here then. Y'all do a verse up out of here.
Bands.
What you got?
Fall so hard. I'm kidding.
We'll let you start. She'll join in.
Oh, man,
Take us to break.
I don't even have no, we finna go to break and do whatever it takes. B.o.B, Bobby Ray, she taking my place. Bars.
You're watching Arise Entertainment 360. We'll be right back.